This was recorded at the Media Joint.
3, 2, 1.
Nikki Webster.
Wow. On Google it says you kiss bloody Katy Perry, so I know there's some good people in there. Ohayo gozaimasu. A bit rogue. Wait, I need to start again.
That is so rogue.
Boy, that's a bit rogue.
Is it even that rogue?
Ohayo gozaimasu. Watashi wa a bit rogue. Tomodachi desu ka?
Sumimasen.
Sumimasen. We've just been in Japan.
Yeah.
For Snow Machine.
Oh my God.
Best experience of your life.
So much fun.
If you like getting amongst adventure and you like live music, you have to check out the machines. We were just over there because Tori played.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had 3 gigs all up.
3 shows, yeah. It was actually so much fucking fun. We were literally snowboarding all day and in the snow, and then we'd like stop, I'd DJ for a bit, we'd have a couple drinks, we'd watch Diplo play on the mountain, we'd go home, get ready, go to dinner, go to the main stage. Like, it was
But in
honestly
Japan,
wild.
the accommodation's like really small, like
Small.
petite, and there was 4
They
of
told-
us girls
yeah,
to one bathroom. So
they
like,
told me I'd have 2 rooms, and I was like, cool, like, yeah, we can share, like, I really don't care, like, whatever. And they put us all in this like just one big giant room, and the bathrooms are like this big. It was an experience.
every
We
single
loved it.
day I had to pack up my luggage to move it out of the way. And by the end I was like, fuck it. Everyone was just jumping over luggage to get to where we needed to be. But also I did not ski every day because I did a bloody ski lesson the first day because I hadn't skied since Milo school. And the day I was like pumped to ski with everyone, they
We
were
were like, we'll take you on a green run. It's so chill.
yeah, they're like, it's so chill. And like they had like Diplo's crew there as well. So I was like, yeah, all right, I'll join in. I'm like so keen to shred with you guys. It's an Olympic track. I fucking almost shit myself, but I couldn't because I was wearing Tori's pants and they were too tight. And it got to the point where Tori was like, how about you just kick your skis off? And I was like, I'm doing it. Kicked the skis off and I walked back up the mountain.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to be fair, we did.
But it was lots of fun.
Yeah, it was
Memories.
super fun.
Because it took me about half an hour to walk 10 meters.
Yeah, I was like, it's only close. She's like, that was traumatizing.
It was traumatizing, but character building.
But it was honestly, yeah, good gals trip, good single gals trip.
Yeah, we did the snow machine in Hakuba, and then we did a little leisure ourselves in Tokyo with 2 of our other girlfriends.
Yeah.
And
caused
a ruckus.
Caused an absolute ruckus. We came up with this thing: is he hot or is he snow hot?
Yeah, because I obviously when I did my ski lesson, I was going to be by myself on the mountain. So I was like, how about I just tune the ski instructor so he becomes my friend? And obviously I learned Tomodachi desu ka, so like, what's your number? He ended up being from like the UK. So I was like, easy. I speak English. So tuned him. And obviously you can't really see him. Like he's got his goggles on.
And she's giving us the updates while we're on the mountain. Like we're on the lift. Then this guy's like, I'm in. Like,
yeah, sending little
I think he's hot.
selfies from the gondola, me and him. But yeah, he had his beanie on, goggles on, he's got gloves on. I don't even know what skin color you are. I was all for it. But we, at the end of the day, figured, is he ski hot or is he hot? Because he ended up taking my phone, which was like, whoa, this is too far. Like, I'm just tuning you in my lesson. We got 3 hours and that's it. He took my phone, put his Instagram in, and I was like, oh, okay.
And you saw the photos without a ski mask.
Saw the photos without the ski mask, and I was like, you know what? That's ski hot. He was sexy. That was ski hot. But it kind of reminds me of when you go to the races and all the boys, like you go to the general public area and they're all dressed up to the nines. But, you know, they're actually a chippy and like half the time don't even wear shoes to bloody woolies. So that's like races hot. But then you've got ski hot.
Ski hot. One of our friends was hooking up with a guy and she was like,
he's
so hot. And I was like, no,
he was not hot at all.
Like, no, sorry, you don't
Ski
get that
hot.
one.
But he had his helmet, beanie, and goggles on.
So
it'll get ya.
So Skye on the trip, we figured out she didn't bring any sexy undies. Who goes away on a trip and doesn't bring any sexy undies? Like this is a
mum?
No. You always.
Honestly,
always.
like at my house, there's always there's some sort of shit stain on my bed, whether it's from my dogs or from my kid. I don't know what type of poo stain it is, but like I'm not prepared ever because That's just not my life. So the last thing I'm going to do when I'm skiing and bloody trotting up Shinjuku train station is to bring out the lacy knickers.
No, you got it.
But I got grilled. You guys were like, oh my God. And the reason why it came up is because an old flame happened to be in Tokyo at the same time. Old flame was from 7 years ago, and this was the first and last DJ I ever dated. I got fucking PTSD, tell you that much.
Don't date DJs.
However, I woke up because, you know, I do play it safe. I didn't go out the Saturday night. I had hot pot, took myself to bed. I woke up to like multiple messages at 1 a.m. from Tori. Oh my God, is playing here tonight. And I was like, you know what? Let's get it. So I refollowed him. We exchanged messages a few times, and I was like, ladies, I don't have any knickers to wear.
She was trying to get prepared. There was a couple of other things that we that you needed to get prepared for.
Well, funnily enough, I needed a razor, and
As you do.
as we are going to the 7-Eleven to get razors, I get a message from him trying to, like, you know, like when guys trying to like reminisce on
Back in the day.
yeah,
Remember
like
this?
anyway, I guess some guys use it as that their woo. My favorite story of you is stopping at 7-Eleven so you could shave your fanny. And I was like, well, I'll have you know.
Were you trying to do it in the bathroom? Or?
Yeah, I went into like
Okay, so
can
you
I
bought
just
the
also-
razor and then you went into the. Oh my
this
God!
was 7 or 8 years
Did you at
ago.
least get some like shaving cream, like something to like soothe that?
No.
No.
Okay, so what happened was this guy ghosted me due to another person's comment that was falsely made about me. But like ghosting is not okay. If you are
No.
dating someone, you're hanging out with someone, don't fucking ghost them.
No.
Like just tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, I've been having to tell the
Something.
boys this recently. I'm like, just don't do it. Just be like, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah,
like, you don't.
I
you
would
don't
much
need to do
rather that than just ghost,
Mm.
because then we both went to the same PR event and he was like, baby. And I was like, no, you ghosted me. Anyway, we decided we were like, fuck it, we're back on. So I said, listen, I specifically did not want to sleep with you, so I did not shave. And he goes, I don't care.
Yeah, I would do something like that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do that.
Mm.
Or maybe just me. But anyway, so I said, I have to go to 7-Eleven. Like, I don't want this to like, you know.
Because
be
you'd
a
already
thing.
told him though. Don't you think it would just been better to do it at his house or at your house, whoever's house?
Well,
you're
this
going
is the
back to?
thing. We were an interstate situation.
Okay.
So right now, I think at the time he was living in Melbourne and I was living in Sydney. And yeah, I was like, fuck it, let's go to 7-Eleven. They had a bathroom in there and I fixed myself up and then off we went.
Nice.
So I thought it was funny that he sent that message and then we were, you know, in 7-Eleven again in Japan.
in Japan. Yeah,
But,
there you go.
you know, nostalgic moment, he ghosted me again.
You gotta learn. Don't date DJs.
No, yeah.
DJs suck.
Yeah. But,
Unless,
I mean, at least it gave me a good story to tell.
Yeah, exactly. So what else happened in Tokyo? You had to go to the chemist. Tell us about your chemist experience.
Well, I'm just going to say it now. I'm definitely a tropical girl. Like, I don't think I've been to the snow. I haven't been to the snow properly, like skiing, since I was about 5 years old. And my mum's a nurse, and growing up, like, you don't wear undies to bed. You don't double your stockings to school. Like, you need to let the vagin breathe. In Hakuba, I was fucking stressed about being cold. I was stockings, leggings, pants, 90% of the time.
Yeah.
In the day, sometimes just pants on pants.
You had to though. It was literally snowing the whole time. Like it was freezing.
I woke up one day, went to the bathroom, and I was like, I have an itchy vagina. What is going on? And then I realized I got fucking thrashed from wearing so many layers.
Can you explain what that is though? Because I feel like a lot of guys are like, they don't know.
guys can get thrush.
I know they can, but guys are...
Okay, so
We've
when a
established
girl
guys
gets,
are-
I think it's a change in the pH levels or something. And
It's just something you get like when you're wearing too many clothes and you
yeah, and sometimes like if you don't change your swimmers or like
yeah,
you know,
if you're in wet swimmers,
you just need some consistent airflow. And it's like day 4 in the snow. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, she's got a little bit of itch. And then I was like, nah, I might just be in my head. I'll have a shower. And then someone else said they got a bit of an itch. And I was like, we've all got thrush. So
Jock's looking at us like, what the fuck?
I can't see Jock, so I'm fine. So I just thought, you know what, ladies, let's save it for when we get to Tokyo. We'll deal with it then.
Because there's nothing in Hakuba. It's kind of like
Nothing-
fight for your life there. Like there's no
not even-
food. Like there's no
There's no
lifts.
food. It was.
There's so many times in
There
the
wasn't
middle
even
of it.
any bloody champagne. I barely drank in Hakuba.
Oh, yo.
I didn't. I just ate mushrooms. Anyway,
Straight to jail.
straight to Japanese jail. So I went to Tokyo and I thought the girls were getting content. I'll be the legend and go to the chemist because I'm the Japanese translator, obviously. And I go into the chemist and I Google translated vaginal thrush. And for some reason, the word that I had gotten for thrush wasn't translating. And so they kept saying to me, like, vagina, unsure what the next word is. And I was thinking, fuck. I was like, okay, fucking hell. And he's talking so loud. It's a very small chemist. There are white people in there, by the way, that definitely spoke English. They could have helped me, but I think they were thoroughly enjoying my pain. So I put in Google Translate itchy vagina. And so I've said to him in Japanese, itchy vagina. And he's still like, he ended up getting a female chemist to come talk to me. My mum being a nurse, I'm panicked. I call her and I'm like, Mum, what the fuck is another word for thrush? I've got thrush and so does someone else. We really need a tablet. And she's like, oh, Candidus?
Candida.
Candida.
Yeah.
Okay, vaginal candida. So finally, we got there in the end. So if you're in Japan, you get thrush, you must translate vaginal candida, not vaginal thrush, if you would like a tablet.
Anyways, you just
Anyway,
you should
did
just,
that.
She was just standing there going itchy vagina, itchy vagina.
It was actually really traumatic for me, like by myself as well. Anyway, but Tokyo is like this vortex, right? If you fucking love ripping in on SingStar, you are gonna love Tokyo karaoke.
Honestly, we had the best time.
You pay, like what, there was like 6 of us.
Yeah.
Okay, we had our guy friends and obviously us girls. We would go, it was like around $120 an hour, and you
for
get
unlimited drinks.
unlimited drinks. So this is where I ripped in, because you know the drinks are 7-9%.
Yeah, they're wild.
One night,
And-
we went back again, and every time the little phone buzzed to be like 10 more minutes, we'd be like,
another hour.
moto, which
It
is
got,
more.
it got to the point where they were like, no, we're actually closing down. One of our guy friends like, I don't care, we'll pay double. Like, we just kept going and kept going. And earlier on in the night, we were at Teppanyaki and we just like adopted these random Italians
Oh,
as
yeah, I
well.
forgot about that.
Yeah, we
The
were just
Ferraris.
like, we were like, you're coming with us now. And they had the best night ever. They could like, it was such
They were
broken
actually
English.
there for a work trip. They were meeting with like different producers like in produce, sorry. And they had a meeting at 7:45 that next
And we
morning.
were like,
and
nah,
we were like,
you're
no, you're
coming,
staying
you're
here.
coming and you're staying
hanging
till
out
the
with
end.
Australians. You're in Japan. You're about to have the best night of your life. And they did, because we
And
did
we-
5 hours of karaoke.
Honestly, it was the vibe.
Infy moment of the week, Tozza.
All right,
hit us.
my iffy moment, I feel like happens to me every single time I go overseas, and it's actually upsetting because it makes me feel like shit like a lot of the time. So we're away, we're at an after party. It was while the snow machine was happening. I kiss this guy, he's really cute, we're getting along. Next day happens, we're out. His friend is trying to hook me up with like another person, and I was like, this is weird. And he goes, Tori, he's in a long-term relationship. And I'm like, why every time? It actually happens to me every time I go away that a guy with a girlfriend hooks up with me and then tells me after. And it might just be like a kiss on a night out, but it doesn't matter. Like, if you have a girlfriend, fuck off.
Yeah.
Literally fuck off. Like,
If I found out my boyfriend did that or was even, you know, dangling that, they wouldn't be my boyfriend.
I reckon it's happened to me 5 times in the last year. And it's every single time I go overseas. And like, I'm like blindsided. And like, one of our friends got angry at me one night. She's like, you knew he had a girlfriend? I was like, no, I did not.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. And I was also really drunk. Like, I'm not going to like, first question I like ask when I meet a guy, hey, sorry, do you have a girlfriend? It's like, no, if we're vibing and we're flirting, you shouldn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. I don't know. It's starting to get to a point where I think that's going to be my first question. Hello, do you have a girlfriend? And they're going to be like, what the fuck?
I actually do ask that.
Yeah. But like, when you're already flirting and you're already like,
Yeah.
the vibes are already flowing, like, it's kind of a weird
So you're
question
different
to
to
ask.
me though. Like I would never kiss someone in public. Unless
I was
like,
really drunk,
fucked
by
up.
the way.
But like, I'm always sus on people. So I'm like, are you in a relationship?
I need to be more sus on people because it's actually getting to the point of like a joke.
But do you remember going back to the DJ? I said to you girls, I just have this feeling that he's going to do the same thing again. And you guys are like, you have to trust. I don't fucking trust men. No. So
You're also putting that out in the world that you don't trust and that something bad's going to happen if you just like strongly believe
I don't think like I'm manifesting it. I'm more like, I'd rather be mentally prepared for
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Not being like, oh, and I'm projecting that energy onto him. It's just like more in my head and I was like vocalizing it to the girls. But yeah, everyone was like, no, don't like manifest that.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to have your wits about yourself and be like, listen,
100%.
do you have a fucking girlfriend or not?
Do you know what the funny thing is as well? Like, none of these guys have been sly about it. Like, I've been at events where it's been live streaming and they've kissed me or they've sent me text messages. It's not even Instagram where you can unsend it. Like, I have text messages and it's like, I just don't get how you can do that and not even be like, oh, make sure they don't even say that to me. They don't go, oh, don't tell anyone or anything. And I'm like, wow, is this just becoming a thing? Like, and they're not in open relationships either. So it's like, I don't know. It's just becoming like normal. I don't know if it's the industry that I'm in or the people that I surround myself with. Not sure, but like it's scary how normal it's becoming. It's giving me like trust issues for sure for future relationships. But
Yeah.
anyways, do you have an infy moment?
I did have an infy moment. It was the vaginal thrush. However, now that we've already gotten that out of the way, this isn't intense or that funny, but it's just an infy moment for me. Stop answering the phone when you're on the toilet if we're not friends. Well, like friends, but like, you know, the other day I was phoning up a potential guest because I was like, hey, just needed to confirm, do I need to talk to your management or what? And then I was like, are you on the toilet right now? And he's like, yeah, I'll call you back. And I was like, what the fuck?
Why don't you just call back?
PSA, if you're pooping, maybe
Don't
just
answer.
don't answer or just send a text being like, busy, can't chat today.
Or just call you back in 2
I'll
minutes.
send you a voice message in a min. But
100%.
anyway.
So we're actually ready for you guys to send in your infy moments. So if you have any rogue infy moments, we'd love to hear them. Or not even just rogue.
It doesn't need to be rogue, but like
just something interesting, something funny, something that would only happen to you. Let's hear them.
our next guest, we actually have spent a lot of time abroad with.
Yes, he's a good friend. He's funny.
You've spent time with him in New Zealand. I've spent time with him in Japan. Bali.
We've done done a lot of adventures together
Because of Snow Machine. Because Snow Machine, like, when
brings
you're
people
away,
together.
yeah, it brings everyone together. You form like new friendships.
100%.
You see each other every day. You stay near the same hotel rooms. Yada yada yada.
Yeah. Anyways, you might know him from Channel V.
He was a bit of a sprouter.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one in a while.
Sprig, like a rig and a sprouter.
Okay, Sprig.
He was a sprig, I reckon, because he was older. I was in high school.
Yeah.
He is just an all-round cool guy.
Welcome, Danny Clayton. So you are a TV host renowned for your Channel V days.
Mm-hmm.
You are a radio host, a DJ, all-time legend,
Artist manager.
Yes, now.
Gosh,
and,
keep going. This is great,
And some might say you might be a social media influencer as well.
Oh, I don't know about that, ladies. Especially when I'm in the room with you two. You are taking that game to another level, and I could not claim to have your skills.
No, I actually bring this up because when we first became friends, he came up to me and he goes, I didn't actually think I would like you before I met you.
What
He
a
goes,
dick move.
Yeah, he
I
goes,
mean,
so
like,
before I met you, I didn't like you, but now I kind of like you. You're actually all right. And I was like, okay, is this a backhanded compliment? Like, I knew you as like the cool, like festival guy, and he's saying I didn't like you before I met you, and I was like fully rattled.
Look, if I'm allowed to explain myself, because that is an audacious thing to say to someone. It's like, hey, what's up? I tell you
took it
what,
as a
I
compliment
hate
in
you.
the end.
But now that I know you, you're not so bad. One of the things I think is quite a common and modern problem these days is that there can be a disconnect with what people portray online versus to what they're like on, like in real life.
And you did explain this to me at the time.
And
made me feel okay.
and I think that like a lot of the things that we see from both of you is it's quite cool. You live very cool lifestyles. You're always somewhere fancy. You're always dressed up to the nines, and you're rubbing shoulders with very, very cool people. And that's not really my shtick. I'm like, no, that looks boring.
Judgy, don't judge you much.
But in real life, you're like very comical.
But just
and
side
very funny.
note, you're like actually in attendance these events / extravagant things. Like we literally were just with you at Snow Machine.
This is true, but generally when I'm at those classy events, like I'm the guy in the corner doing like a shoey or something. Like I'm not
or
the
having
guy
beef.
that's like,
Beef. You guys had beef
oh,
with
gentle.
the transfers. Yeah, Daddy Danny got angry.
He took my transfer home.
Basically in Hacklebar, it's like very spread out, and like if you don't have a transfer, you're kind of like stuck. And
It's like fight for your life.
maneuvering like many bodies in many different vans when someone else accidentally takes this car and this car, it's just like, okay, who can we move fastest with this and that? Tori Livette was not happy after her gig. No, not
Look,
happy.
I'm a priority
It was like
person.
group 1, group
Yeah.
2, and just put me in the group 2. Group 2, you can stay here and wait for the next transfer.
I'm
was
sorry,
like,
I had
sorry.
a lot to organise. And like to bring everyone up to speed, this is because obviously all of us have all just come back to Australia from Japan, where we were working at a music festival called Snow Machine, which was, gosh, an experience in short.
Bloody good time.
It's always an experience.
Yeah, I mean, we had some performances from Diplo, Busy P, I mean, Tori Livette, which was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
And actually, that was probably one of my favourite sets.
On
Everyone
the
was up
main
on
stage
stage.
or the mountain?
No, the one on the mountain, we were all like dancing up on stage with her. And
Yeah.
the mountain one looked very spectacular. It looked very pretty.
It looks
Yeah, the
pretty,
mountain
but
one's
the main
vibe.
stage is more fun because
Yeah.
everyone's vibing.
Yeah, and Gigi McGree said that was fucking vibes.
That was just so much fun.
Mm.
Mems.
Yeah. I
Mems.
mean, but now that we're back to reality, like...
But it hasn't really been reality though, because I feel like a lot of us have caught a bit of a burnout / fatigue.
It could be from the excessive drinking and
Yeah, well, I
the
didn't really
limited
drink.
sleep.
I didn't really drink that much in Hacklebar though. Like I drank in
We were doing
Tokyo.
so much exercise and so many activities.
Yeah,
it was like
it's-
wake up, snowboard, go to the party, like get ready, go to the party, go to the party, go to the after party, go to
Yeah,
the
but
after
you
party.
When you
went
said
everywhere.
we were doing so much exercise after you said, like, we weren't doing any drinking. We were doing so much ecstasy. And I was like, where are you going with this? In Japan?
Not in Japan.
No,
Did
no,
you
no.
know? You know,
Big
if you
no-no.
get in trouble, like with the law in Japan, you get locked in a cell for 28 days without a phone, without communication, before you can then liaise and be like, no, that didn't happen.
Apparently,
Oh my
that-
God, Skye, you would die.
No, I
Apparently,
would
that's,
literally
Where's my
die.
phone?
Where the fuck is my phone? Where's my son? Where's my child?
apparently even if you bring Valium, like if you don't have a prescription for it, you get that fucked
Yeah,
up.
you would
Look,
get the
I just think there
solitude.
is a general lesson here, and it's don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
don't do them.
No,
Don't do
fuck no.
drugs.
Organics only.
Mm.
Yow. But I will.
What is this podcast?
No, I will say the fatigue has been real. Like I honestly,
yeah, I got
I've
a
been napping
spicy
every
cough.
day. COVID.
Excuse me.
so yeah, with the fatigue, like I couldn't even lift my arm really to use my phone even up until like So we got home Thursday evening.
It always relates
Woke
back
up.
to the phone.
Yeah.
It's like I can't pick up my child. It's like, no, I can't pick up my phone.
No, Banks is willing and able to walk now. We're on the trot. No more carrying. Hurts my back. Yeah, couldn't write back to anyone. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do a lock-in with Banks. We literally stayed inside for 4 days. I napped in his nap. I slept, like I put him to bed at 6:30. We woke up at 7:30 and then I'd do a 2-hour nap in the day. Like very
That's
tired
real,
girl.
Yeah.
It's about time he starts pulling his weight around the house as well.
Seriously,
I think he should start
Banks. He
thinking
needs to
about
feed the dogs more often.
securing an income as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Lazy bastard.
So I went down to Woolies and I got a COVID test and a pregnancy test because I'm like, it has to be one or the two. Because I when I was pregnant, I had COVID, iron deficiency, and obviously I was pregnant. So I had the trifecta, and it was as bad as that. So I was like, I need to like.
Hey,
we need to fix this.
important question here. So, so you got a COVID test and a pregnancy test.
One was positive.
It begs the question: who was it that you thought gave you COVID?
You know what?
That's what I said. Who? COVID. That's what I was thinking. Who gave you COVID? That's what I was thinking.
I would love to know, but then I figured out I actually read the test wrong.
No, she tells us all. She's like, oh my God, guys, I'm positive for COVID. And I start telling everyone, I was like, oh my God, I think I have COVID now. I start telling all my roommates.
So the test had N, A, B for the flus, and then C. And mine came, and I thought N meant no, negative. And I had a line for the C, but you have to have 2 lines, guys.
Yeah. So again,
So she tells everyone, and then she
I
actually
told
doesn't
everyone,
have
even told my grandma. I'm like, Grandma, this is me done.
Who do you think got you prego?
You went.
Could it have been Ewan MacGyver? No, that's not even his real name, is it? He waved at me and I was like, I'm pregnant.
I can understand that.
It's the accent.
It's the accent.
So we do need to cover, like, we obviously knew you from Channel V days. Like, Oz Open for us living on the northern beaches, Oz Open surfing was like a pretty big deal. Like, you finish up school at 3:00 and you're down there tagging the Billabong check-in stations to get your freebies.
And we didn't know you then. So
no, we didn't know you.
Cool
We were, like, I
guy.
knew of you. I was like, that is Danny Clayton from Channel V. Like, he was the it guy. What was it like to be that popular and that famous at that time? And do you feel like nowadays it's different for the younger generations? Because they're not really, I'd wake up and Channel V's on the TV. Now, they're not really watching TV. They're just, their idols come from Instagram or movies or sports, mainly like influencers. So, yeah, what was it like being famous and...
At such a young age as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did start my job when I was very young. I was 16.
Is that work experience?
That was, I won a competition taking photos at rock concerts. And it got my foot in the door to Channel V, a channel which I watched religiously because I really, really loved music.
Yeah.
And one of the things that occurred was that once I was in at Channel V, I worked really hard to take great photos, and the competition finished. And whenever they needed a photographer, they'd just say, hey, let's just get that Danny guy, because he doesn't charge us anything. And meanwhile, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing in the world. I don't have to pay them to do this. And I was turning up to Channel V after school. And then the day I finished school, they gave me a job. They said, hey, do you want to be a TV presenter? And I said, yes. And it was a very, very interesting time. I mean, you bring up how television isn't really a thing these days. Everyone's like on social media and everyone's consuming let's say, music journalism from 1,000 different sources. And there is so much music going on. And I think that there are benefits and there is also like major disadvantages from the current media music landscape. Number one is that when we were on Channel V, every record label was sending us every CD. And they'd say, this is a really great album. And then we'd be gatekeepers. We would listen to every album and go, oh, look, this is okay.
And you would choose who.
But if we found something that was maybe a little bit obscure or it wouldn't normally get much attention, we'd have everyone's eyes. And we'd grab this indie album and go, everyone, listen to this little band called Kings of Leon. They're from Tennessee. This is such a great album. Aha, Heartbreak. Like, you have to listen to this album. And everyone would listen. And all of a sudden, like, it made this whole generation of really, really great, high quality, beautiful music. And it was like a halcyon year of like great, like music media. And now when you have so much music and people can put together something and then just throw it online. And
Yeah, I feel like we have a lot more one-hit wonders than we do longevity of artists.
And it's so important to have TikTok and Instagram to promote yourself now. And if you don't have it, you're falling behind. Like, you can't rely on Spotify and, TV and stuff anymore.
And the difference being that if you had a really beautiful indie artist who was not particularly, who doesn't do the dances and doesn't do that.
Doesn't want
that. You just wants to, like, I've got songs in my heart and I'm going to put them out there. And then it was given to the gatekeepers. Then all of a sudden this person has a music career. Whereas nowadays, those really shy indie artists who can record stuff, but they are mortified or maybe they're not physically very skilled at creating content online, those people will slip under the radar. But those confident little bedroom producers also have a real advantage because
But
they're
also,
like,
if
hey
you
guys,
are-
this is my song, it's coming out on Wednesday, like what, and it's like those kids are gonna kill it.
Yeah. But even if you are an indie artist and you feel introverted, like, and you don't fuck with TikTok, like, still go for it. Like, a little example is, like, there's boys from my area that I went to school with and they started a band. And, like, let me tell you, like, when we were in school, like, they were not the musos at all, but they started a band, they're having fun. And, like, some of their music actually really fucking slaps. And I said to the boys, you need to write yourself up a media release and send it out to Triple J, put your stuff on Unearthed, and I'm not even kidding. So these are the good kids. They've been picked up by Triple J. They've gone in and done an Unearthed, interview with them. And Spotify's pushing their music now. So, like, it is still possible, but you do have a leg up if you, are on TikTok and you're
100%.
doing fucking...
How is
dances.
Sticky Fingers these days? Are they're doing well then?
I think they got cancelled, darling.
Okay.
I guess we just want to hear a little bit more about, just like growing up. I know that you've like touched on it with me before, how, everyone thought you were super rich and like you'd go out and we touched about that stuff before, but I want you to like elaborate on it.
So it was very comical being on television, and that meant that you were loaded.
Yeah.
And if anyone saw you in real life, it's like, that's Danny. He's on Channel V. He is loaded. He's got all the money. I was in my early 20s and I was so broke.
Yeah.
Channel V had Osher Ginsburg, James Matheson, Jabba, Yumi Steins, had Maya Jupiter. They had this full quiver of the most talented and skilled and expensive TV presenters.
So you're bottom of the food chain.
Me, I'm bottom of the food chain. They're not paying me. I'm like minimum wage. I could probably make more working at Woolies. Now, here I was being this young kid, loving my job. And I'd go out and then people would come up and be like, oh, it's Danny from Channel V. Oi, buy the boys around. You're so rich. And I would do it because I was so shy and I was like, I didn't want to be like, no, I'm broke. So I'd buy around and then go, okay, there's my food allowance for the week. And I would, no joke, for weeks, I survived on baked beans on white bread.
Wow.
And that was it. Like that. And funnier is that I used to get invited to lots of events, and at those events they would have free food.
Yeah, mad.
And I would block out my week to go to events that I didn't even want to go
Understandable.
to, just so I could eat.
the free food.
And that's why to this day I can't eat arancini balls. I can't. I look at them and they just remind me of deep shame.
I think you texted me one time, like when we were going to an event, like you were DJing or hosting, and I was like, oh, you're already there, and I was like, I'm really hungry, what's the food like? And you're like, yeah, there's like heaps of arancini balls.
I can't do it. Honestly, it's like my numb flashbacks. Every time I see like arancini balls, I'm like, oh, I'm so poor. I'm so hungry. Because I would take the whole bowl and be like, and eat a whole bowl
That
of
reminds me of uni
arancini
days.
balls. Oh my God.
So obviously being around so many celebrities and like interviews and everything, what's your like most cooked moment in
Channel
your
V days,
Channel V
yeah.
career?
Oh, God. I mean...
Because I will just say quickly, I did see the YouTube of you telling someone on live air, a very famous surfer to
I mean,
fuck
look,
off.
That was amazing.
That's well documented, and I think that everyone has seen that video.
No, I only
Skye
saw it
hadn't seen it.
yesterday.
Oh,
Skye
really?
hadn't seen
Yeah,
it.
if you
I
Google
remember
Danny Clayton, it does come up.
I mean, that one does come up.
I actually loved that at the time because Chloe was actually being really creepy and really rude to me as well. And and then when I saw that, I was like, I love this guy.
Look, I think that,
Any other moments like that?
when it comes to other moments like that, honestly, we would be doing dozens of interviews a week. And some were great, some were challenging. And then also, again, I'm in my early 20s.
Yeah.
I'm
It goes
figuring
high at
myself
this
out.
point.
I'm going out and I'm going
Yeah.
to concerts because I was a big music fan. I was going to concerts and gigs late night and getting drunk. And then I'd be up the next day doing live television. And then there'd be that little part of my brain going, oh no, you're still drunk. But on being drunk, I do remember this one time of doing a job at Falls Festival. And I'd interviewed every band at Falls Festival. And Kings of Leon got refused entry backstage at Falls Festival because they didn't have their passes.
Yeah.
And they flipped out. They were the headline band, and all of a sudden they can't get back. So naturally, they're a little bit pissed off.
Yeah.
So
I would
they
be.
cancelled all the interviews. They're like, nah, this is bullshit. It's all over. Done. So the festival organizer says, Danny, we really desperately needed that interview, but it is...
So then why did they not let them in?
Because it was a bit of security or
It was just a
something.
security risk.
Yeah.
And
They
then
did know.
they got let in and it was fine. So then I go, I guess I'm knocked off. I'm producing this show, so I guess we're good.
Yeah.
I go out, it's New Year's Eve, and my friends are all there waiting. They had smuggled in large amounts of spirits, and they said, Danny,
Perfect.
we have been drinking all day.
Catch up.
This bottle of tequila has got your name on it. We want to see you drink it. And being, again, mid-20s, I
Say less.
let them pour this bottle of tequila down my gullet. And as I consumed the entire bottle of tequila, the festival organizer runs out into the crowd and finds me and says, Danny, the interview's back on. You absolutely have to do this interview. We need this interview for legal reasons. There's like contracts signed off and blah, blah, blah. You need to go do this interview. And I go, yes. And now I am having trouble walking straight. And I'm about to interview one of the biggest bands in the world, absolutely shit-faced. Not because of my fault, but just by chance.
By nature.
Now, I'm walking up to my interview area and Caleb Followill comes out. And I'm like, there is no way I'm not going to look drunk. I'm slurring my words. And I'm like, and so he comes out and then I put my arm all over him because I'm drunk. And I'm like, hey, mate, look, I got to tell you something. Didn't think I was going to do the interview. Can you keep a secret? I'm shit-faced. And then he turns to me and goes, hey, buddy, don't tell anyone, but I'm really stoned. And I'm like, okay, how are we going to do this? And he goes, okay, here's the deal. You ask me really simple questions, and I'll give you really good answers. I go, great, deal.
Done.
And I sit down in this interview, and I'm like, hello, Caleb. How are you enjoying Australia so far? Every question was so basic. And his responses were, oh, the thing about Australia is this and this and this. Oh, we met this koala. And he would just go on and on and on. And
That's mad. He saved you.
Anything complicated. And I was like, I just need to get out of this interview. I'm like, my eyes are like, closing in the middle of the interview.
I want to just share an experience with you. Of us.
Why am I so nervous? I'm like, what have you got up your sleeve? Why do you look so
Everyone gets
happy?
so nervous for these games. Yours is actually so fine.
Okay.
But when we were in Bali, again, Dream Machine, Slay, there was someone that I was interested in. And because what had happened, like the first night they were interested in me and then I was like, no. And then the second night I was like, wait, I am interested in them. And they weren't really giving it back to me. And I remember going up to you and I was like, Danny, like, I really want to kiss this person. Like, what the fuck do I do?
And then
you,
Skye and I just started making out vigorously, just
You
tongue.
go-
It was hot.
on your quick feet, you turn to me and you go, Skye, I have the best idea ever. And I go, what? You go, I'm going to go up to him and say that I really want to get with you and say I can't because we're friends. And then that will make him think that you are the hottest person here. And I was like, wow, what a wingman.
What a good friend.
And that was such quick thinking. So that leads me to your game of...
But before you go any further, could I say, number one, it worked, yeah? And number two, boys are dumb. You have to understand, we are simple creatures. This is our primordial brains, right? When we're like in our hunter-gatherer kind of era, you know, competition, when you see another man go for a woman, all of a sudden it's like, no, that woman must
That's
carry my
mine.
seed.
Yeah.
I must
yeah.
have the children's with that woman.
Yeah, he even was like, oh, I love your earrings. And I was like, boom.
Done.
Done. So your game is think quick with Danny. So
okay.
we have
Shouldn't be too hard.
10 questions and you have to go back into your Channel V days, right?
Okay.
We're going to ask you 10 questions. You have 3 seconds to answer.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be someone that you have interviewed in the past. Because, you know, on Google it says you kissed bloody Katy Perry. So I know there's some good people in there. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, answer. Okay? You
Okay.
can't hesitate. And it has to obviously be, like, don't say your bloody neighbour because we know you didn't interview them on Channel V.
I mean, to be fair, I did interview a lot of people. I probably did interview my neighbour. But let's do this. I'm down.
All right, let's go. Who's most likely to go to the afters with you?
3, 2, 1.
Delta Rigs, Monty. So definitely Monty from the Delta Rigs. Like, the guy is the party animal. By the way, that is not 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. That's like 1 second.
Okay,
fast.
we're in the entertainment world, baby. Dancers, 3, 2, 1. Chillers, 3, 2, 1. Singers, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, but like, I've got a library of names.
Okay,
we'll
that
give
I've
you,
got,
like, a little
what am
bit
I,
longer.
Like a
3,
MacBook?
2, 1.
That's
Is that
better.
better?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, so the person most likely to go to the after party with me, any and all of the Sydney rock band, the Delta Rigs. They are the quintessence of after party.
Love it.
Most famous person you've kissed? 3, 2,
Well,
1.
Katy Perry, right?
Why did I say that?
Katy Perry.
I thought you would say someone else other than Katy Perry.
Well, I mean, like,
Second
She
most
is so
famous.
slay. I kissed a girl.
All right, most inappropriate person.
3, 2,
look, I don't want to like put myself in a situation where I'll get sued for
no.
defamation.
You're giving them free clout.
Yeah.
I mean, Axel Whitehead, he was the gentleman that lost his job by pulling his penis out on stage at the Arias.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's inappropriate.
There's a guy who you guys wouldn't know called Toby Rand. He was a bit of a big deal in the like early 2000s. He was pretty out of control. And Phil Jamieson from classic Australian band Grinspoon. He would often see pictures of me in like the social pages, and then I'd be arm in arm with a girl, and he'd ring me up and go, "Did you sleep with her, Danny?" And I'm like, "No, we're just friends." But
We're just cone heads.
that would be probably the most inappropriate person. But yeah.
Who has picked their nose in front of you? 3, 2, 1.
Nikki Webster.
Wow. I actually went to school with Nikki Webster for a little bit. Shout out
No
to
way.
McDonald College. Yeah. And I was like pumped to run into her in the fucking courtyard. And she brushed me. And I was like, wow, where are my strawberry kisses at?
Can I tell you, even like, I should not dive deep on this, but Nikki Webster came in. This is like a core memory. This is early Channel V days. Not only did she pick her nose in front of me, she picked the nose, the digging occurred,
Nah, don't.
and then she inspected. She'd found herself. She went digging for a nug. She had the nug, and then she wiped it on the couch she was sitting on, and I could see the nug on the couch.
Wait, did she know you could see?
That makes my fanny
This
feel weird.
was- yeah.
Nikki
And
picks
I just
her
remember
nose,
after that.
rubs it in the dirt,
Yeah.
and has it for dessert.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh my god.
Nuggy Webster. Oh.
No, she's actually really lovely lady now. I think she owns dance studios.
Yeah, no. Like I think that
She's a
Nikki
mother.
Webster is...
You can pick your nose, Nikki. We love you.
I mean, you do whatever you like, Nikki. You're an absolute Australian icon. I went too far, didn't I?
No. Slay.
I'm sorry, Nikki. I'm sorry.
Alright.
It's just whatever. It scarred my brain. This would have happened like
boogies are
20 years
weird.
ago. 20.
All right. Most likely to leave their fly down.
3, 2, 1.
Me. I often leave my fly down because I usually have the buttons.
Yeah, I've seen that actually. And I usually do say something, but you know the worst thing is? Like when we were at that party one time and then the host, he had his fly down and I was like... And I think you were getting pissed because you were keen on the host and you thought I was flirting with him and so did he. I go, hey, your fly's down. And I like kind of whispered it to him because I was like, I don't want to put him on the gronk in front of everyone. I'm like, hey, your fly's down. And he goes, yeah, baby, I'm flying. And I was like, nah, like your fly is undone.
Oh my God.
And you were like, what did you just say to him? And I go, his fucking fly's undone.
Who was the host? Logan Paul? Like,
Literally, no, version of.
Yeah.
Version of. All right.
God.
The person you know that does the sneaky farts. 3,
Oh, no,
2, 1,
Do it.
go.
Do it. Say it.
I can't.
No, yes, you can.
I can't. Well, look, I can say that they're vegetarian. Osher Ginsberg.
Tagging him in that.
I mean, he's a veggie. Do you know how many chickpeas that guy survives on?
That shit
He's
fucks with your
fueled.
gut.
He's fueled
You
by
shouldn't
lentils.
actually eat too many chickpeas. It's actually really bad for your gut.
Tell that to Osher and his just blatant flatulence.
So everyone on Australian Idol knows that.
The one person you think should have gone to rehab in their prime.
3,
Oh my! What are these
2,
questions?
1, go.
Look, I am going to need some more time to think about
Okay.
that one.
I'll give you
We'll
5 more
circle back to that. Still think of it.
People that should go. I mean, look.
In their prime.
In their prime. I mean, name any and all Australian rock star.
Yeah.
Like, we've got like a chronic problems with drinking culture.
Alcoholism is like so normalized in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like people get at me for mushrooms and weed, and I'm like, at least I'm not fucking getting pissed on a Wednesday night
I've
with
got
my
an
kids
answer.
at home.
Definitely Andrew Stockdale from Wolfmother, the lead singer of Wolfmother.
That's kind of.
I was backstage at Splendor in the Grass, and he picked up Missy Higgins because he was drunk.
She's a little gal.
And she's a little gal, and then he lost balance,
Oh no.
and he fell over while holding Missy Higgins.
Oh
and
my God.
And he essentially body slammed her.
Oh no.
She smacked her head. And then shortly afterwards, he picked up a pot plant and said to me, yo, Danny, no one does anything rock star anymore. Like, what? And then he threw the pot plant over his shoulder and it just smashed somewhere random backstage at Splendor in the Grass. And I just remember thinking, whoa, man, that's... Yeah, he's gone too far.
But I'll give him that. Like, you don't see that anymore.
I mean, like,
So
yeah,
props to him.
fair enough.
Yeah.
He's got a point. But Jesus Christ. But I think he's well now. Like, he's playing gigs and, you know, but I think that at that time, the whole world wanted a piece of Wolfmother. And I think that he was just bonkers. I don't know what you even drink to get that wasted. Just
Japanese
turpentine.
alcohol.
Yeah,
Japanese
Japanese.
alcohol. Sake.
2 highs.
The person you would ask for a hall pass with, love you, Chantel. 3, 2, 1.
Zendaya.
Yeah.
Only because we
Yeah,
just
fair.
watched
She's a babe.
June. And it's the first person to come to mind. Zendaya. But you know what? Not Zendaya from June. Zendaya from Spider-Man when she's a nerd. And she's like, and she wears like a hoodie.
Yeah, if that's what you're into.
Yeah,
Love
I think I that would be. Yeah, can I say Debbie Harry?
I mean-
AKA Blondie, but when she was,
But did you interview her?
I met her,
Okay, that counts.
and also she's like, you know, like 70 something, but like Debbie Harry is like, she is like the master.
She's an
the
icon.
queen. Like Miley Cyrus, bloody Demi Lovato.
Oh, so you've got like a
Dua
little stack of
Li-
cards.
No, I'm saying all those women. Like, they do not hold a candle to how sexy Debbie Harry was in her heyday.
Yeah.
Fair.
All right.
Last
Google
cue.
it, you youngins.
Last
Person
cue.
with the ugliest feet.
3, 2,
Oh,
1,
God.
go.
Hayden James. Hayden James has got giant feet.
Big
Like,
dogs.
Big dogs. Like, honestly, they're just giant, big, fat feet. They're disgusting, Hayden.
We'll have to get,
Big, juicy, just dripping with sweat feet. Like, I think that if you were to put a foot of the magnitude,
So he's not selling feet pics.
he's definitely
No,
not.
they-
I mean, I
Maybe
have.
he is.
That's a
Maybe he
niche.
is. Yeah.
Like if they've got a bit of hair on them.
Wait, don't you have a feet pic story quickly?
Yeah, I've got a feet pic.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell us.
I don't know why no one will buy my feet pics, but anyway. do carry
Yeah.
on.
I would totally sell my feet.
So this goes out. I was seeing a girl at the time, and I was at home, and I got a DM. Someone said, "Hey, send me photos of your feet," and I write back to pretty much everyone that DMs me, and I'm like, like, soz bud. And then the dude said, "Go to an ATM, do cardless cash, put in this code." And
How long ago is this?
Oh, this is a while ago. But
It's not that long ago.
the curiosity got the better of me. I went to an ATM. I put in the code. $500 came out.
Perfect.
And I went home to my girlfriend at the time and I said, "Babe, someone gave me money to see photos of my feet." And she was like, "That is disgusting, Danny. Like, honestly, what has become of you?
Get in there.
That is disgusting. How much money was it?" And I go, $500. And she's like, "Give me your camera.
Yeah.
Let's do this." I sent this dude a video of me doing the moonwalk on my kitchen
that's
floor.
nice.
Yeah. And then furthermore, like, and then he was like quite happy. And then every now and then he would send me like a cheeky $250, and then I'd like send him a picture of my feet with the socks on. And I'd be like, "Come on, make it rain." And then he'd send me another $100, and then I'd like slowly remove the sock.
Oh
and I'm
my
like, and I'm like,
You're
man,
a
like,
creep.
go nuts. Like, go. I look, as long as it's not hurting anybody. And I think foot fetishes are the least like dangerous
Honestly,
fetish.
safe play.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
Do you guys go to that kink bar in Japan, the fetish night on when we?
No,
so-
but I did see someone milking titties. And it comes out the other tit. Like you
Yeah.
milk the one
Oh, yeah, I
side of the
did see
boob
that.
and then it comes out the other nipple. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
think it
that's
was like
not
Pip-
how lactation works, darling.
Pip Edwards, like of PE Nation, I think she was like grabbing on a rubber boob and squirting alcohol into her mouth from the other boob. Her and
It's
Millie
mother's
from
nature.
the Faders. I mean, my word. Yeah, so they're pretty wild kink stuff in Japan. So coming back to Australia, you know,
So
little
boring.
foot,
I did
little foot
notice,
dude.
though-
Whatever, go nuts.
I did notice though, just to end on a, T note, one of the main artists had a lady there that had 2 Japanese girls for him. And I was like, that is so interesting. It's excessive, but also like, way to really immerse yourself into the culture, you know?
Yeah, because nothing says immersing into culture than a concubine. Like, I mean,
Hey, listen, it is what it is. Thank you so much for coming in to A Bit Rogue. We love every single trip we are away with you. You always make it so much funnier, whether it's you hungover as fuck at breakfast or you yelling at everyone to get in fucking Sprinter vans or you just being also a hype man.
Biggest hype man.
Biggest hype man.
it's what I do. I mean, if Tori's got a gig in a little basement den filled with sweaty, hairy men, I'll be there to
Be
hype
there.
you.
And then you'll make sure we get home okay after.
Yeah, of course.
Because we'll be too smashed.
I mean, look at the size of you. You know, one drink is like 20% of your body mass. I mean, I have to
Yeah,
make
in
sure
Japan,
you get
I only
home.
had 2 drinks one night because I was like, cut me off. Lemon sour is 9%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not for me.
Yeah. To be fair, I think I turned into a bit of a Frank the Tank in Japan. So it just, you know, all of that Asahi. Woo! Woof! And thank you to our sponsor.
No, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, girls.
Thanks for listening to A Bit Rogue, where we uncover the stories of athletes, artists, and celebrities with their most rogue moments. Episodes dropping every Wednesday.